welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine. If you're new here, welcome. The main theme of my channel is adulting in progress, where I take you through things I'm currently going through or things I've already been through and how I'm adulting my way through them. And if you're coming back because you watched part 1 and part 2 of this video, then welcome back to part 3 of basically me getting back on my journey to becoming debt-free. My goal is to pay off 50% of my debt this year, which means I would be debt-free by 30. I have 2 years, 1 month, and a day before my 30th birthday, and my goal is to pay off all of my personal debt. Like I said, there is another video on my channel that I posted right before this, yesterday, depending on when you're watching it, that I posted right before this that has my full debt breakdown, because we are currently in about $54,581.42 of debt, and the goal is to get out of that in the next 2 years. In that last video, I also gave a huge shout out to the person that inspired me to do this and honestly reignited my passion for becoming debt-free. That is the crafty budgeter, Brittany. She is amazing, honestly, and she was just the person that connected with me that made it all make sense and made me feel like it was possible. So I would encourage you to find someone like that for you. Maybe I can be that person, sure. And we're gonna go into basically the strategies that I'm gonna be enacting in order to become debt-free within the next 2 years, minus my student loan debt. Okay, so to start off, basically what I tried to do the first time I did this go around was to do budgeting, but I was doing monthly budgeting at that time and it did not work, as you can see, because we are still in debt. So we are going to be switching over to 2 new debt strategies. I'm going to be doing a zero-based budget, and 2, I'm going to be doing paycheck budgeting instead of just a monthly budget. Let me tell you why. When I was doing a monthly budget, basically I would just put some numbers on a spreadsheet and then I would come back and see how much money I actually spent. That is what happened. I didn't really put parameters in it. I didn't really have check-ins with myself. It was kind of just once a month I would put some numbers into a spreadsheet and then I would come back and see what that looked like after the month, and then I would usually go over in a majority of those categories and then we'd rinse and repeat for the next month. So what I'm going to be popping on the screen for you now is my new budgeting template and system that I've been using. Like I said, I got a lot of this from the Crafty Budgeter watching hers, so this setup is very similar to hers. So at the beginning, at the first section that you're going to see, it is going to be a monthly budget that has all of my expenses in there, my fixed expenses, my variable expenses, and the plan. So that's like my debt and everything like that. I've already filled out the one for February, so this is the February template, and basically January I just spent the time like tweaking it and trying to figure out like what I want to do and how I want to call categories and how I want to calculate. And so now this is what we've come up with. So in my fixed expenses, it includes basically everything that is the same every single month. There is no variable in it. It is just the same. It has my tithes, my rent, and then all of my fixed expenses. In my variable expenses, these can be defined however you choose to define them. For me, it is anything that changes from month to month, anything that fluctuates from month to month. That includes my utilities. A lot of people put their utilities in their fixed expenses, but I put mine in my variable expenses because they do fluctuate depending on the time of the year it is, and my debt kind of fluctuates, but now starting this new journey, it shouldn't moving forward. But that is my variable expenses, everything like that. And then the plan is currently what I'm going to be doing to achieve this goal of paying off my debt. So that's a debt snowball. I also want to have an emergency fund that is like 3 months of my monthly expenses in case, you know, I were to lose my job or anything tragic were to happen. I would have that. Sinking funds, which we'll review a little bit later. And then saving challenges so that I can actually save money, because I'm terrible at saving money. All right, so as I mentioned, I will also be doing paycheck budgeting instead of just a monthly budget. So this really goes in line with the zero-based budget. Basically, it's giving every single dollar a name. Every single dollar is accounted for. Every single dollar has a place to go. Therefore, you know exactly where your money is going, because like me, as I mentioned in that debt breakdown video, I don't know really how the cards got to the balances that they are. I can't like look back and be like, oh yeah, that's when I did this and that's when I did this. So this is just providing that transparency. So basically I get paid bi-weekly on Fridays. So the difference between me and a lot of other budgeters, one, a lot of budgeters have children. One, that's what I noticed. Or two, a lot of budgeters have dual incomes. It's like one or the other. I have not found anyone that is like in this exact situation that I'm in, where like I'm like fully single, like I don't have a boyfriend that's helping budget or a husband or anything. So it's just one income, and then I also don't have like kids or dependents or anything. So like literally the money just, it's different categories of mine. Basically. So I get paid every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks I'm going to be coming in here and putting all of my my starting balance in here, and then weighing it out and making sure every single dollar has a place. So I have basically three paychecks options, because I just plan on like duplicating this every month. So in some months I get 3 paychecks, but majority of the time I get 2. And then I also have a space here for my side income. As y'all do know, I do, what is that thing called? I do Instacart. And so like anytime that I get that, I also, like I said, none of my money has a plan right now. None of my money has a plan. So I'm just going to be planning out basically where every single dollar goes, regardless of where the money comes from. Every single dollar is going to have a plan and have a place to go, and so that I can keep track of what is happening and reach these goals. Okay, so that is my budget. Now let me talk about some other strategies that I'm going to be utilizing. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a mixture of paycheck budgeting, cash budgeting, and digital wallets, like cash envelopes and digital wallets. I'm going to be doing a mixture of all 3 of those things. This is what I've learned, is that your budget is for you, so you would just have to figure out what works for you. For me, I'm going to be utilizing cash envelopes for 4 different categories, and these are the categories that I want to track, because I think these are the categories that have got me in the most trouble, especially for credit cards. So those categories are groceries. And these are the envelopes that I got. I just ordered them from Etsy. I will link to the shop that I got the envelopes, but these are just my 4 cash envelopes. So I have a groceries one, eating out, a self-care, and the self-care, I go and get my nails done and I get a wax. Those are like my 2 categories. I'm not giving them up. I'm sorry. Like it's not happening. I'm gonna do it. And so we're gonna have that in there for that. And then I have a personal fund as well. That's just like if I like want to grab some, like if I want to grab some chips or anything like that, or like something I see something at the store at Target or something, like a personal fund for that. So that is one thing I'm going to be doing. Also, in regards to cash, my thing is, if it's in my account, I spend it. That's been my strategy. That's been my testimony. That's just how it works. So in an effort to kind of curb that, I'm going to have sinking funds, and those are going to be digital wallets, and then I'm also going to have physical cash envelopes for my sinking funds. So let's go back into the spreadsheet so I can show you the different sinking funds that I have set up, and then I will tell you the ones that are going to be digital and the ones that are going to be like physical. Okay, so inside this like monthly budget, this is like my dashboard for my monthly budget. Inside this, if you scroll down a little further, there is my monthly sinking fund check-in, because I am also going to be having sinking fund check-ins as well. So if you look at this, you'll see all of the sinking funds that I currently have, as well as my emergency fund. And the sinking funds that are in blue, in this light blue area here, are the ones that are going to be digital wallets, and then the ones in the green are going to be my like actual physical tangible envelopes, right? Okay, so let's review all the sinking funds. So my mom's milestone birthday, she has a milestone birthday. I don't know if she wants me to tell you how old she is though, but she has a milestone birthday coming up, and so I'm saving for that. Christmas gifts, my goal is to basically save $100 a month, something like that, or like around that time, so that I can, like, Christmas don't sneak up on me. That's the goal. Yearly subscriptions, I have AAA, I have the Kev on Stage Studios app that's yearly, and then Amazon Prime that I want to basically save for this year. Like this year, they probably just gonna come up on me, but next year I want to just save all the money now throughout the year, so that when it happens, I can just pay that. So yeah, and then a rainy day fund that's just like I have the emergency fund that's like, you know, in case I lose my job. The rainy day fund is just like, you know, when random things happen and you have to book flights, or like, you know. Those are the digital envelopes, and how I'm going to be utilizing the digital envelopes is I use Digit, and I've already mentioned this a ton of times before. It's like an automatic savings app, but you can also have different savings goals there. And so that is how I'm going to be tracking these. And then let's get into the ones that are going to be physical. So savings challenges. I'm currently doing a savings challenge that is the 52-week challenge. So basically every week of the year, you put that number of dollars in an envelope. So like the first week $1, second week $2, third week $3, so on and so forth. So you get to $52 at the 52nd week of the year. So that is going to be that. The Jasmin Chronicles, that is a sinking fund that is going to be for my channel when I need to buy equipment, lighting, things like that. That is the sinking fund for that. That's why it's ongoing. Solo date nights. As y'all know, I am single, but I love to still take myself out on dates. And so the idea for 2022 and beyond is to not spend money before you have it. So once we have enough money to go on a solo date night, we will take ourselves on a solo date night. That is what we're gonna do. Birthday, my birthday, like I said, is in a month from Wednesday, I think. And I like to take myself out on trips or like to go somewhere for my birthday, so that is for that. But also, like I said, in 2 years I'm turning 30, so I'm starting the fun now. Okay, baby, we're starting the fun now. So that my 30th birthday trip, baby, don't at me. You won't find me, okay? Gifts, that is for all my friends that have birthdays, friends, family, anyone that has birthdays, gifts. I'm just gonna start putting money aside for that again, so they don't sneak up on me. Travel, as travel comes, we are going to basically just have the money just already there, so you don't have to figure out where you're gonna get the money from to go places. You're just gonna have it there. And my car. So recently, before I started the system, my car died. And I needed a new battery, and it was $170 with installation. So that is, in case anything like that happens again, we are going to create a sinking fund for it, so that if that happens, we will have the money and we will not have to pull it from somewhere else. That is the goal. And then our emergency fund, which we already mentioned, is going to be on Digit, so that's going to be digital. So those are all of my sinking funds. And like I said, so I'm going to have the digital ones on Digit on my phone, and then I have a binder, an A6 binder, and I have envelopes that are on the way. They're supposed to be here on Wednesday, that I'm going to use for the cash ones. Okay. Another thing that I'm going to be utilizing is my iPad. Now, I'm not a paper fan, okay? Like, I love pen to paper, yes, like I do, but also like, what do you do with the paper once it's gone? Because then it's just a waste of paper. That's how I feel. So instead of doing, well, a lot of people have like planners when they're planning their budgets and things like that. I will be utilizing my iPad. I have an iPad, I've had one for years. And I also recently got an Apple Pencil for it. So I will be utilizing my iPad in order to make that happen. So these are, again, I got these templates from the Crafty Budgeter, her Etsy shop that she has. So let's look at February, because I think I started doing it. Can you not screen record on iPad? Maybe it's in here. Nope, it's not. Maybe you can't screen record on iPad, but hold on. Okay, so this is what the written, can y'all see that? This is what the written, I also ordered a new case so that won't happen. Okay, so this is what the written budget is going to look like. It's going to be very similar to this layout, but this is just a place for me to write it down. This is where I'll be doing my weekly check-ins with y'all. It won't be on the screen recorded on the laptop. It'll be me filling it out on there. When I do my cash stuffings for like my envelopes and my sinking funds, that will also be on here. And then basically every month I'm gonna be updating this one, but y'all will see the one on my iPad. So those are the main things. And in regards to paying off my debt, I will be utilizing, as I think I've mentioned in part 1, the Debt Snowball. So basically there's 2 ways to do the Debt Snowball. Actually, no, I think that might be a Debt Avalanche. But basically this Debt Snowball that I'm going to be doing comes from Dave Ramsey. Now Dave Ramsey, he be extreme. Now he be having you, baby, don't spend no money. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Pay off debt. That's it. That's your only goal. Until you're debt free, no fun, no joy, no nothing. That's like his strategy. We're not that intense. But I will be utilizing the Debt Snowball. And what that looks like is basically you write down all your debts, as you saw in my debt breakdown from least to largest, and some people do it based off of interest rate and some people do it based off of balance. So that kind of depends on how you do it, but I'm doing mine for the balance because I need small wins. Okay, I know the interest rates are high, but I need small wins, and so being able to pay off the smallest debt first, I feel like I can get those small wins. I'll be utilizing that, and how that works is once you've written down all of your debts, you take the minimum payment, you pay off that minimum payment every single month, as well as all the other ones. You pay off all your minimum payments, and any extra money that you have towards debts goes to that smallest balance. And then whenever you finish paying off that minimum payment goes to the next debt, and now that is your new minimum payment for the next debt. And then anything else that you have will go to the next debt, and then compound gone down, so on and so forth until you're debt free. That is how that works. So the number, I think it's like $1,000 that I basically spend every single month on debt. That number is not going to change. Like for the next 2 years, it'll just be going to different debts basically. So that like $1,500–1,600 for the next 2 years is still going, it's still going to be paid out every month. It's just going to be going to different debts over time until it's no more debts left. So those are the mentalities we reviewed. How I'm going to be switching my mindset to change my relationship with money. Really, the overall goal is to just know where my money is going. I don't want to be anymore, like in the future, ever get to a paycheck and be like, where did my money go? Because that happened. Okay, baby, I got all 3 stimulus checks. I got all 3 stimulus checks. And I got the California stimulus check. And I'm getting an actual tax refund this year. The way that, if you ask me what I spent the stimulus checks on, or my I didn't get well, I got a tax return. Actually, I did get a tax return last year. It was small, but still, I got it. I can't tell you. And that is the mentality that I'm super switching, because I need to know where my money is going. Because when I think about it, I'm like, you should have been done. You should have been done. I should have like 1 debt based on the 3 stimulus checks plus the California stimulus plus my tax return. I should not have even gotten into more debt that I did at the end of last year, because I'm just confused, and we're done being confused. Like I said in the last video, don't let anyone bully you into being like disgraced about your debt story, your debt journey. Understand it is very personal, and it is something that you choose to share. But as I said, the money's already been spent, okay? Now it is about what we are doing to change it and move forward, and so we don't have to be in this space again. So if you want to come on this journey with me, it is going to include a kind of like this is going to be a series on my channel. So you get a bi-week budget setup, a bi-week paycheck budget setup. We're going to be doing monthly thinking fun check-ins, saving challenges check-ins, and then we'll also be doing some cash stuffing. But I don't think I'm gonna do a whole video for cash stuffing, because I'm only stuffing 4 categories. So it's probably gonna be like paycheck budget setup / cash stuffing that is going to be happening, and then we'll have like the budget closeout and like sinking fun update at the end of the month. That is what I'm thinking for the channel currently for this thing, because I don't want it to become a budgeting channel. It is just an aspect of my life. And one thing I do want to do that I feel like is missing from the space, I think from what I've seen, there's a lot of budgeting channels and it tells you how to like line everything up, where to put stuff in your categories, all the priorities, those things like that. But how that actually looks in your real life is something that I'm also going to be bringing to this. So when I say I'm gonna have $100 for groceries, there will be in my weekly vlogs what I bought with that $100 of groceries, so you could actually see what that looks like for me as a single woman in California, just because I think it like makes it a little more tangible. Because if you're saying that you only get $100 if you're used to spending like $700 on groceries or anything like that, then you can actually see what that looks like and like make it more tangible. And that's my hope, is to hopefully do that. So the budgeting is not going to take over my channel, but it is going to be infused into all of the different aspects. aspects of my channel, like my solo dates night, my self-care routines. All of those things will all be included in the budgeting world, so you will see what that looks like. But this will be the end of this part of the series, so look out for the first paycheck of February budget setup / cash stuffing. Okay, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see me on this journey to become debt-free in the next 2 years. 2 years, debt-free by 30. That's a period. Debt-free by 30 for everything except for student loans. I forgot to put the little asterisk there, except for student loans, but debt-free by 30. And also on one of these sides, again, I still don't know, I should have done that while the camera was charging, but on one of these sides they're going to be recommending you a video, and then you'll also see my most recent upload, which is part 2 of this discussion. But we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much, and I look forward to going on this journey with all of you. Bye, beautiful people.